What's going on YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and I'll throw in Digibyte for all the people who've been wanting to see some Digibyte. Guys, the reason typically I haven't been doing a lot of trading or looking at Digibyte is just due to the fact that the market is so thin that I was even looking at it today that there are wicks that are over 50%. So it can just get difficult looking at things like that because it can be so manipulated when you have such a thin market. So that's the reason. It's not that I hate Digibyte or anything like that. It's just it's difficult when you're seeing that type of volatility in it where you can have 50% wicks, which we'll get into later. But what we're going to start with here is Bitcoin, and we're going to look at it on the 1 hour time frame. I love to do a lot of trading on the 4 hour, and then I'll find those entries on the 1 hour time frame. And what I think this does is really show us good support and resistance levels. And what you can see right now is that we're actually coming up to test a key overhead resistance area. This is going to be at 7,284. And I want to see what we do with that if we're able to turn that into support. As you can see down here, this 6,964 we broke up through. We came back and we were strong here. We didn't even back test it. We did not go back to that previous resistance area that we wanted to become support. We were even stronger. We set our nice higher low up above it around $7,000. And then what's happening here is we're actually getting a trend line break. So this is a big deal for us here. And I want to look at this on the 4 hour time frame just so you can see this. So overall, we've been in this downtrend, and this downtrend, we'll say, started with the first lower high there. This was back February 19th. So since February 19th, we've been putting in lower highs overall on the macro sense. Okay, now in the intermediate term, the secondary trend has been up, and we've been consolidating sideways. Now, there's a few different things that can take place here. If we can get a true trend line break out of here today, and we have a daily candle close of 3 to 5% above this trend line, that may be enough here to really start pushing us up into some of these areas around even $9,200. We fell very hard, very fast here, and this was a little bear flag. So if we can get up over top of that area, there's a lot of room to run. Even back up to that 10,500 would be a possibility with a true strong trend line break out of this. So that's something I'm going to be paying attention to, and we're starting to break that now. But like I talked about, we want to see that on the 1 day time frame, a candle close up above that trend line, whether it takes 2 days, 3 days of 3 to 5%, so you have confirmation of that trend changing. I think it's important to wait, because in this space, a lot of times you can break up through the trend line, say right now, and you go, okay, I'm jumping in, we have a trend line break. Then you have that really long wick, and it gets basically sold back off, and it was a pump fake or a pump out, just a fake out. Right here you can see where we really pumped hard. It looked like we were going to get up, then we just had a straight down drop in a 4 hour candle. So that's what we have to be careful of, and that's why I think it's important to wait for confirmation. Always important. But going back to the 1 hour, what we need to do is get up above this 7,284. If we can turn that into support, you can see I also have an alarm there right at that area, that resistance, 7,297. And then it's going to be up here around that $7,500 range. The 7,500 is the key. We get up above that, then we have a clear shot, as I would say, definitely up to probably the top of this, about $8,000 if we can get up above this 7,500. I think a lot of traders are really looking at that. So what we are having is those lower highs, which we're trying to break now and come up and set a higher high, and we're having higher lows. So things are starting to look a little bit better here for Bitcoin, and it's nice to see this, that the bulls are stepping in these higher low territories. But for me, I'm paying a lot of attention to this trend line coming down right here, and what we do with it today. If we get a nice strong daily candle close with heavy volume, that's what I want to see. Now, in terms of support, we do not want to drop down below 6,964. That's going to be my support area, and you can see right here on the 1 hour, we're potentially getting a little cross of that 50 over top of the 200. It's not near as significant because the 200 has just been moving horizontally. So remember that, but we are starting to come up and test some of these important areas right now, and I really think we need to keep an eye on them. So that's going to be at 7,284, and then we're going to be looking at 7,445 are going to be the areas that we're looking at, and we are having above average volume right now coming up into this consolidation range. So guys, it's good. It's nice to see us moving right now, and we just set a higher high, so we want to see this continue to move in this shorter term time frame and maybe turn into an intermediate term trend down the road here. It's very important to get past that 3-week mark. So if you like me covering Bitcoin, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to move into Litecoin next as we're continuously moving here. This is a good thing. So for Litecoin, we're at 42.30. So let's clear this out. So same deal, we're looking at Litecoin on the 1 day time frame. Litecoin is coming up now to the key overhead resistance that we were looking at of $42.30. We need to get up above that, and then the area we're going to target is 43.08, and then it would be around that 44.20. And this 44.20 is kind of like Bitcoin 7,500. That's what we really need to get up and above, and then we can start moving up into the $48, even $51 range. But right now we're just having that squeezing effect. We're in that symmetrical triangle here. Lower highs, higher lows, we're squeezing, and we're going to see what we do if we can come back up and back test the top of this trend line, if we're going to be able to get out and over top of it. So that's what I'm looking at for Litecoin, guys. Not a huge analysis. We would want to stay up above about $40.16 if you are in Litecoin right now, and I'll just do this on the daily for you. I'll show you the volatility stop, where they'd have it. So the volatility stop, say you went long right now and you're looking at this on the 1-day time frame, our volatility stop would be at $39.91. So say you enter now, that's where it says that you would want to put your stop loss, a safe area, because we would want continuation to the upside if this is going to be a real move here. So if we did break down, you would get stopped down. That would be that safe haven for you. And guys, right now we on the 1 day we need to close back up above this 50 moving average. That's going to be important for Litecoin as well. So we're testing that. That's why I said the daily candle close today is what's really going to be important. I don't think it's best to FOMO into a position. Just really wait for that good confirmation. We still have the 200-day moving average acting as overhead resistance, which we could go up and test, and that's going to be at $52.39. So let's pay attention to that and see where that volume lands today. You can see the RSI is at 49, just cruising neutral right now. It's just a waiting game. Let's see what ends up happening here. So if you're part of the Litecoin family there, guys, smash that like button. Let me know down low what you're doing with Litecoin. Are you in a position? Are you thinking about a position? Are you still staying back because you believe we're going to be going lower? Let me know down low. And also, guys, if you just leave anything, even an exclamation point, whatever, it really helps out with the algorithm. You know, the letter capital A, whatever you want to do, that helps out. So if you could do that down low, I really appreciate it. And then we'll go into Ethereum next. Let's see where I got ETH here. Just 1 second, guys. I got so much stuff on my watch list here, including the stock market. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water here. So Ethereum, we're at $186 right now. Ethereum's a little ahead of the rest. You can see we are up above this 50 moving average, so that's good. That's at $156, so we are holding that as support, and we're also up above that 200. So I would say Ethereum's ahead of the pack here. Ethereum needs to end up getting up above about that $187. Let's close up above that. Then we can start running into the 204 and then be up around 247 is going to be my overhead resistance. Then it's going to be at about 286. If you are long right now, volatility stop, you're going to be looking at right around $160. And that's going to keep you safe, because if we do break down, then you wouldn't have wanted to lose this higher low that we ended up putting in. We're trying to put a higher high in now. So that's very important to pay attention to. But Ethereum is a little ahead of the crowd right now. It's up higher above these moving averages. It's putting in higher highs, higher lows. Same deal, what you can see here. We've been obeying this yellow trend line, which is important. That's our uptrend line. Those are our higher lows. We're looking at that. And then we had this green line. It was kind of like that ascending triangle, because we had our two touches here and then we broke up through. We came back to the top, have been consolidating on top of the top here, and we have not broken down through. So this is not a busted pattern. We're still waiting to see if we can get up above roughly 100, guys, we'll call it $188. That's what we're going to really need to get up above, and then we can have room to start running into that, you know, upper 200 or whatnot. But we do not want to drop below that 160. That's going to be the area I would end up putting a stop loss if I was in, and then I would look down most likely to about $152 we would want to see as support. That's going to be a critical area, and then about $124.31 to the downside. But right now we do have more momentum. We're moving to the upside right now. We just have to see if this is going to continue. If we look at Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame, okay, so right here was our overhead resistance at $174. We broke up through. As you can see, we came back, we broke down through it a little bit, fought for it again, and now we're trying to come back up. So we're going to see if this is like a double top here, or if this is the area where we come up and we make a higher high. We're holding that 50 moving average on the 4-hour support, and also that 20, and that's what you want to see in an uptrend. So looking a little better for Ethereum here than some of the other ones. It's a little bit ahead, and then we're going to look at Digibyte is the next one we're going to do. And guys, you get something from Ethereum, smash that like button for me. I appreciate it. And we'll go into Digibyte. With Digibite, I'll try to pick the best chart I can get for us here. Alright, so with Digibite, this is what I was talking about. So do you see down here where we put in tweezer bottoms? Right down in this range? Take a look at this wick. This is insane. So we'll take the price range. And guys, we'll even go from the top of this one down. 57% for a wick. Do you see that to the downside? So that's why it's hard to even play this, because you can't put in stop losses. Excuse me, guys. You can't put in stop losses when you're having wicks like this. Look how long they are all over the place. They're going to get you whichever way you play. But for Digibite, just looking at this now, what's nice is that we have started an uptrend again. Do you see the higher lows that have been coming in? And on the 4-hour time frame, we're up above our 200, we're up above our 50 and our 20. That's a classic uptrend right there. So that's really good. And we're getting up over top of, we'll call it 842. Guys, I'm going to leave out the 0.00. I'm just going to say 842 is going to be that area. So we potentially could back test that before we make another move to the upside. But we did have a lot of volume come in, which was nice. And you can see Digibite's been in a downtrend for quite a while now. I mean, this really started back in June 2019. We were just gliding down. And then we had that climax dump. So hopefully this is that trend changing, and we're getting up above some key areas here. I mean, even up above that 900. So Digibite, when it moves fast. And it's just because it's such a thin market. And like I said, guys, it's not that I don't like Digibite. That's not the case at all. It's just, it's a difficult one to trade because it's so thin. And every book that I read, from candlestick charting to my Japanese book, all that, say you don't really want to play those thin markets because of reasons like we talked about. It can be a little bit more dangerous. Things can move so fast. You can't really put in stop losses. So I believe Digibite is more of a hodl coin. If you believe in the technology of it, then it's one that you should hodl and hold and then see what you can do in the long term. But you want to hodl and hold when you're in uptrends. You don't want to do that so much when you're in those long-term downtrends. That's where you can start to get into trouble. And that's what people don't understand sometimes, is that hodling's fine when you're in an uptrend, overall bullish uptrend, but when you're in a downtrend, you do not want to be hodling coins. It's one of the worst things that you could do. Capital preservation is key in that sense. So Digibite is moving overall. If we're going to put a nice target up here, I'd want to see us get up to that 1,703. I think that's going to be a good area. So guys, you like me covering Digibite too, and you appreciate it, let me know down low. And I'll try to do the best that I can for you all. I appreciate you being here with me today. That's what I'm looking at. Those are the areas that I'm seeing. And for Bitcoin, we really need to get up above that trend line today, make a nice strong trend line break. I think that's going to be the key for us on heavy volume, and we potentially could run pretty hard, pretty fast. So let's just keep an eye on it. God bless you all.